Welcome to Native Talk Arizona, presented by Native Health and KRDP 90.7 FM. Later in the show, we'll talk with Kaitlin Martinez, owner of the Ranch Mobile Eatery. But right now, host Lanasha Puwadi talks with Manuel Lucero and George Sickels about the Prescott Powwow happening September 15th through the 17th.
I'm host Lanasha Puwadi. The Prescott Powwow happening September 15th through the 17th is an annual event for Native Americans to teach their children important traditions as well as sharing their dances, music, and ceremonial dresses with others. On the phone with me are Manuel Lucero and George Sickels of the Prescott Powwow Committee. Hello, George and Manuel. It's an honor to have you on our show today.
OCO, hello.
Hello, Nasha. It's good to be here. Thank you.
Absolutely. It's a pleasure to have you both. And before we get started, can you kind of let us know a little bit about yourselves?
Sure. I'm Manuel Lucero. I'm the executive director at the Museum of Indigenous People here in Prescott, and I'm the president of the Prescott Powwow Committee. I'm also a Gort dancer and Southern Straight dancer. My folks are out of Oklahoma from the Cherokee Nation, and I married a beautiful Yaqui woman, which has me here in Arizona.
Thank you for sharing that, Manuel. And then George?
Yeah, George, northern traditional dancer, Gord dancer, vice president of the Prescott Powwow Committee, and my people are Lakota from South Dakota. I hope.
It's a pleasure to have you both here with us today. And just to start off with the basics, can you tell us more about what the Prescott Powwow is?
Sure. Prescott Powwows is our motto and our little mantra is elders embracing the youth. And it's like you had said earlier, the Prescott Powwow is a social powwow. So it's not a contest out there. You know, your regalia, your outfit doesn't have to be, better than the next guy, in order to get the judge's attention. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's a time for learning, especially for young people to come out there and feel comfortable, joining in that heartbeat of that drum and being out there and having a good time. Being a social powwow, like you said, all that pressure's off from worrying about competing against others. It's just we're all there to have a good time and to pray and dance and sing and laugh and cry and do all those things that human beings enjoy doing. So I've heard once had one of the relatives say, Prescott Powwow is the biggest little powwow in Arizona. We have ourselves a good time out there. And 3 days, beautiful Watson Lake Park. That land there belongs to us indigenous people again. So we celebrate it that way, take over the whole park, all the camping and everything. So it's a good time to be had by all.
And as Manuel said, social power, that's how powwow started out a long, long time ago. Everybody got together and got caught up, seeing friends that you didn't see for a long time, or maybe even family, and no pressure to share food, stories, dancing, praying, and sharing the love. Oh.
Wow, that's amazing. It sounds like it will be a very great event for families and just individuals just to attend and experience the powwow event. And I'm not sure if you mentioned, Manuel, when did the powwow begin?
Oh, geez. The powwow here in Prescott started, I think we're on sans COVID, of course. We're on our 16th annual, so 18 years ago, the Prescott powwow started, and there was one fry bread vendor. We had maybe a handful of dancers and a couple of artists, and that was it. And it was over at the Dusty Rodeo Grounds here in Prescott. And then a few years later, it moved over to beautiful Watson Lake Park on the big lawn out there. And it's been growing ever since. Now we have typically over 40 arts and crafts vendors, 4 to 5 food vendors, and dancers from all over the continent. We had dancers coming from upstate New York, from Florida, Oklahoma, here in Arizona, and all over the Southwest, of course, California and New Mexico and Colorado. And then we even had one from some folks from Hawaii last year came and shared some traditional hula, which is normally what the tourists don't see that. So they shared their traditional things with us. So it's when we say intertribal, we really mean it. And plenty of tourists come through, so it's good for the vendors to be able to sell their goods, their wares, their art. Typically over the 3-day weekend, we have about 3,500 people or so pass through the powwow. So it's a good time. But yeah, it's 18 years old.
Still young. Yeah, pretty much.
Yep.
Pretty much what Manuel said, and then we'll always encourage the public, to come and join in, round dance or something along that line, share some food. Hopefully come and learn, what we Indian people are about. Mm-hmm.
Well, that's amazing. It sounds like the powwow has definitely evolved over the years. Manuel, you mentioned a term, intertribal. Can you tell us what that means?
Yes, absolutely. And on several levels, actually. Intertribal, of course, means we gather together as indigenous people, not just from one tribe or another. And we embrace and share our dances, our culture, our ideas about living our worldviews with each other in that way. So on another level, you think about it, all human beings are tribal people, all human beings. So when you hear the MC announce, intertribal, everybody get up and dance, it literally means everybody. We do ask that visitors follow protocol and don't go out there doing your own thing. Like the saying goes, when in Rome, do as the Romans do. Well, when you're at a powwow, do as us native people do. And we do ask that you show the respect in that way. But intertribal literally means just that, all of us as indigenous people. It's a time we can come together at powwow and celebrate our indigeneity and celebrate the fact that we are still here. And, a lot of folks will say, too, I've heard, back home and I've heard from other indigenous people here would say, hey, that's not our way. We don't do that. But at the same time, powwow is a contemporary way for us to gather together and celebrate. And though it may not be traditional, learning about powwow or participating or even coming to these gatherings, it's kind of like a gateway drug, if you will, where you have these young people will come and have something to be proud of. Look at us. Look how beautiful we are as indigenous people. And it sparks a curiosity. And they then want to learn about their own culture, about their own traditions, about what their clan does or what their tribe does. And, especially with urban Indians, like many of us are, who maybe don't live too close to back home and, are away from grandma and grandpa and those uncles and aunties that have that traditional knowledge, that if they have something to be proud of and a way to gather and share as indigenous people, they will spark that curiosity and want to talk to grandma and grandpa, want to talk to auntie and uncle about, how their family does things and how their clan does things and how their tribe does things. So, yeah.
I think that about covers it on that one.
Sorry for being so long-winded.
No worries.
That was good, brother.
And more into the powwows, can you let us know what kind of vendors you will be having and art and crafts that will be there?
Oh, of course. From year to year, it varies. We have a lot of folks this is what they do. They hit what we call the powwow trail, the powwow circuit, and they'll sell their art, everything from beadwork to silversmithing. You have artists who create weapons, tomahawks, knives, things like that. You have artists who do flat art and painting and artwork like that, sculptures, carvings. Um, then of course you got the dream catchers and the and the beaded feathers that people like to hang from their rearview mirrors. Although I don't know why you'd put a dream catcher in a rearview mirror unless you were planning on sleeping in your car. But you see that a lot. I guess you have to park the car to the east too, But you'll see all these various things. We also have a gentleman, Wendell Sakiestwo, who will join us frequently. I haven't seen that brother in a while. He's a Hopi clothing designer, and he lives in Los Angeles, where clothing designers live. But he'll come out to the powwow in his beautiful clothing for men and women, and it's. I have a few of his shirts myself, and they look pretty snazzy. So you got a whole variety of contemporary and what can be thought of as traditional arts and crafts, and then we also have food vendors. So when you think of indigenous food, a lot of people, non-natives particularly, will think fry bread, and that's only a recent thing since the reservation system had come into play. But what most folks don't know is barbecue. That's not an English word. Barbecue is indigenous to the Americas. So roasted corn, and of course kettle corn, popcorn is our invention too. So don't let the movies take it away from us. That's our invention too. There's a variety of food vendors that come, and we are more than fry bread.
So also got Mexican food as well, because we're more indigenous people.
Absolutely.
And the lemonades. You always can get a very, very good lemonade at the powwows.
Yeah.
But if somebody is interested or wanting to either volunteer for the powwow or maybe want to be a part of to be a vendor, are you still accepting applications?
Absolutely. We all know our people, they'll just show up that day and set up their tent. But yes, we are accepting applications, and you can go to prescottpowwow.org and click on info, and it'll give you a drop down and go down to vendors or volunteer applications. Fill those out and get it to us. You can email us for contact at powwowprescott@gmail.com. But it's prescottpowwow.org for our website. But we're also on Facebook, so like us there. And if you reach out, we're usually pretty good on Indian time, pretty good about getting back to you in an Indian timely manner. And we'll be glad to have you as a vendor, have you as a volunteer, or if you want more information about camping and things like that.
Or you could just call George at 928-277-7213 for vendor info, or if you just got a question. It doesn't matter if you would rather call. Just call me, and I will get back to you very quickly.
Yes, definitely. Thank you both for sharing that and talking about where the powwow is going to be. Can you tell us about the area and the amenities such as hotels or camping sites, just in case if somebody is going to be traveling there that hasn't been to Prescott before?
Yeah, absolutely. So the venue for the powwow itself is at beautiful Watson Lake Park, amongst the dells, which are huge granite rocks that are jutting out of the beautiful northern Arizona high desert area here. There's plenty of camping with shaded pine trees and alligator juniper. Like I said, we secure the entire park, so there's several campgrounds. Now, camping is first come, first serve, so you might want to get there early Friday and set up your camp. We do have some of those spaces reserved for staff, because even though I might be president of the committee, I still sleep out there on the rocks with everybody else. There's also plenty of hotels and venues like that here in town. Hotel St. Michael is one of our sponsors. They'll be housing some of our head staff. We also have the Prescott Resort and Casino, run by the Yavapai Prescott Indian Tribe. We have the Spring Hill Suites by Marriott, owned by wonderful friends of the museum of Indigenous people here in town. They are also sponsoring some of our head staff, and there's a Hilton. There's all kinds of great places to stay if you might have a bad back and camping's not your thing. There's plenty of amenities to go around. There's wonderful restaurants here in town. So if you're looking to stay and have a good time, come visit us at the Powwow, and then visit downtown Prescott. A lot of history here.
Yeah, I think that about covers it on that. Just like to invite everybody, and I mean everybody, come out, sit with us, talk with us, learn, eat, have fun, and we look forward to seeing you at the Powwow. Head you to you.
That's awesome, and it sounds like it's a lot of amenities just to accommodate anybody that is wanting to attend the Powwow. But Manuel and George, how many years have either of you attended the Prescott Powwow or been a part of the Powwow in general?
I've been a part of Prescott Powwow for, going on 12 years now. When I first had came here, I was dancing out in the arena, and the former president, Mr. Tony Largo, rest his soul, had seen me, and he's a paratrooper, and so am I, as an Army veteran, and he seen me dancing out there, and he's looking for head staff for the following year, so he tapped me, and then he invited me to a Powwow committee meeting, and you know how that goes. You go to one committee meeting, next thing you know, you're doing things. So, it's so going on 12 years now, I've been involved with the Prescott Powwow.
Yeah, so I know about that tapping.
Yeah.
So for me, Prescott Powwow, only a couple of years, but as far as powwow ceremony, etc., over 30 years. So I guess that's what got tapped, and it left a knot on my head too.
That's awesome. So you guys will definitely continue to be a part of the Powwow committee for several years in the upcoming years. George and Manuel, can you let our listeners know again where they can go to find more information about the Prescott Powwow and who they can contact for further questions?
Awesome. Absolutely. Yeah, that's PrescottPowwow.org, all one word, PrescottPowwow.org. And you can email us at powwowprescott@gmail.com. You can also find us on Facebook, where we'll have a link to the website from there. Please like us and share. And George is the one to get a hold of as an individual, because a lot of us don't have the interwebs at home. So you can give George a call. What's that phone number, brother?
My phone number would be 928-277-7213.
All right, 928-277-7213.
Call
and watch on. Thank you. Yeah, thank you for inviting us on the show. This has been wonderful. What on?
Thank you both.
Appreciate it.
Absolutely. I want to thank you both for taking time out to talk to us today, both Manuel and George, just giving us more information about the Prescott Powwow and how the community can be involved, and also letting us know what we can expect if we attend the powwow. Again, the Prescott Powwow is happening September 15th through the 17th.
Sure is. What on?
Coming up, Lanasha talks with Kaitlin Martinez, owner of the Ranch Mobile Eatery. Support for KRDP 90.7 FM comes in part from Native Health, with 2 locations in Phoenix, 4041 North Central Avenue, Building C, near the corner of Central Avenue and Indian School Road, and at 2423 West Dunlap Avenue. Native Health is also located in Mesa at 777 West Southern Avenue, near the corner of Southern Avenue and Extension Road. Native Health provides primary medical, dental, behavioral health, WIC, and wellness services for the urban Native American community. For more information, call 602-279-5262 or visit our webpage at nativehealthphoenix.org. Native Talk Arizona returns after this song. You are listening to Sundancer 21 by Eagle and Hawk.
Welcome back to Native Talk Arizona, presented by Native Health and KRDP 90.7 FM. I'm host Lanasha Puati. On the phone with me is Kaitlin Martinez, owner of the Ranch Mobile Eatery, a food truck that specializes in Anthem-infused foods. Hello, Kaitlin. It's an honor to have you on our show today.
Good gosh. Hello. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. And before we get started, can you tell us a little bit about yourself, your journey, and your background?
Yes. Skuktash, Anya of Chugik, Jukmat, Litigan Chugik, Kaitlin Martinez, Anya Amjid, Guki. Good day, everyone. My name is Kaitlin Martinez. My Autumn name is Jukmat. I'm an Autumn and Dene woman from the Hill River Indian community residing in Saskatoon, Arizona. I am the proud yet humble owner of the Ranch Mobile Eatery.
That's awesome, and it's a pleasure to have you today, Kaitlin. We can start with the basics. Can you tell us about the Ranch Mobile Eatery?
Yes. Yeah, so the ranch is it's a small food trailer actually, and we are operating reservation wide, mainly in Saskatoon. We set up. It's not really daily or anything just yet, but we do set up for breakfast sales, and really just striving to put out good product, awesome product. In my opinion, we are way out of survival mode. You know, we're showcasing that through our people are creating beautiful art. We wear beautiful jewelry, and our kids are, getting educated. We're educated, and now I felt like we were ready for beautifully made food, easily accessible to my community, and that's what I wanted to do, and that's what the ranch is.
And when did you start the Ranch Mobile Eatery?
So interestingly enough, we are less than a year into operation. I honestly can't remember the first day I sold, but I did have a soft launch, and that was in October, I believe. And then a week after our soft launch is when we opened. Oh, so yeah, it was October 22nd was our soft launch. So the first week of November is when we started selling.
Oh, wow, that is amazing. So you'll be coming up to a year here shortly. Kaitlin, can you tell us more about your background? Did you go to culinary school, or how did you get interested in kind of following this career path?
Yeah, so definitely, I'm a res girl through, born and raised here in Saskatoon. Also, a little bit more background too is I'm a 5th generation rancher, and I come from a big family, so I was always put in positions to help cook. You had to eat in order to work, and so I've been cooking since I was a little girl. A lot of my early memories were cooking with my mom, serving my grandpa his plate of food, and even cooking on wood stoves, and in ceremony, cooking a lot. And so, honestly, I never went to school I never went to culinary school to learn how to cook or anything, but it was a lot of, growing up, it was a lot of watching people, I used to watch Food Network a lot. People watch cartoons, I watched Food Network. And I would really try to mimic the way they hold their knives, the way they cut things, and I really incorporated that into my home cooking. And that's one of the biggest things I always tell people: if you want to get into, food work, or if you want to become a cook, get your knife skills down, learn how to hold a knife, and that's what got me here today. Is honestly learning how to hold a knife, how to handle a knife.
Oh, wow, that is amazing. So you are pretty self-taught and kind of grew up in that environment. And you mentioned that you are a 5th generation rancher. What kind of ranch?
So we have Hereford cattle. We have about 80 head within our family. Our cowboy, we call it backyard himdag. The cowboy lifestyle is deeply rooted in both of my families, my dad and my mom's side. My mom's side here, my grandpa had 30 bucking horses. He had full stock. It was probably considered the first stock contractor in Hill River. And so now we just carry on that legacy as far as we have the cows, we have horses still, not bucking horses, but just working horses. And it takes, the whole family, daily work, and we're just really preserving that lifestyle for our family, for the kids, to really learn something different. I often talk about, and I reflect on this a lot, of we would always have to haul water. We were raised at our grandpa's house with no running water, no electricity, and we would work with him all summer. And so one of the things we would do at the end of the day was to haul water for all the animals and then haul water for the house. And at the end of the day, we would be cooking and drinking water together, drinking out of the same pot, the Sickels pot. And so a lot of that's a lot of work. Like, my foundation is just like coming from a place of love and doing things in that good way, and like that old, I guess, would be referred to, like, si sakura in atam, to be a good person, and that comes from that base.
Oh, wow, that is an awesome, beautiful tradition. Kaitlin, what made you want to start the Ranch Mobile?
Yeah, so I referred in the beginning to that we were out of survival mode, and we saw that, in our art, people are creating beautiful, art is being created, and we're getting educated. We're doing, we're moving forward in this contemporary world, and I wanted to showcase that through food, happily beautiful made food, but also incorporating our indigenous foods in there as well. Learning how to cook with them, learning what I've used growing up and from my mentors, and so really, and wanting to change. Not change, but wanting to add something to the basic plate. Like right now, you request, I'm a caterer as well. So when we're requested to make a traditional meal, that usually consists of red chili, potato salad, pinto beans, tortillas, or fry bread. And I wanted a different plate. That's good food too, but I wanted something with awesome food, like real awesome food in there. And this idea stemmed from my late aunt. She was having a retirement party, and she kept saying, I want traditional food, but no one knows what that means, not potato salad. And so that's what that really stemmed from, was her plea to. She was just saying it in general, but it really spoke to me. I want real awesome food, and that's really where that comes from.
Oh, wow, that's amazing. And then talking about your traditional foods, how do you incorporate the awesome traditional foods and recipes into the Ranch Mobile Eatery?
Yeah, and this does sound cliche, but that number one ingredient I do incorporate is those prayers, that love. So definitely that's that number one ingredient. Always cooking with a good heart, not cooking when you're upset, stuff like that. That's always my first teaching to myself. I really drilled that in myself, and then to my our two other workers, and incorporating we have the pima wheat, the atom pirkan, the red wheat flour, and mesquite flour. The mesquite flour I usually incorporate in like cookies, pancakes, and stuff like that. And then the wheat, the pima wheat, I incorporate that in our tortillas. When fry bread is requested, I'll put it in that. I really did learn, like when I started the Ranch Mobile Eatery, I asked to shadow a few people in the community. A lot of the people I looked up to, Alyssa Dixon with Alyssa Coastin, and Alyssa's Coastin, and then James with Down the Road Bakery. I really seek their their help and their guidance, and they showed me a lot of things, as far as like how to use the wheat berries, how to use the cholla buds in different salads, soups, and really it's experimenting at home, perfecting those recipes, and then trying it out. Like, hey, we have a featured item, and seeing how it goes. My most recent featured item is a wheat chummas wrap, chicken wrap. It has like wheat berries, cholla buds, spinach, tomatoes, and tapri bean hummus. It's good stuff in there, all wrapped in a wheat tortilla, wheat chummas. So that one's good. I love that one.
Oh, wow. That sounds so delicious. And it does sound like you've had some amazing support and resources from your community. And you mentioned, I believe you mentioned that you had 2 other workers. Is this kind of like a family mobile eatery, or who helps you with the mobile eatery?
Yes, definitely. This is a family-run business. We do have 2 employees. One is my brother. He's really been with me from the beginning. He takes care of all my wood. Anything that needs to be serviced for the generators, the vehicles, anything, like stuff like that. And then I have another prep cook. She's actually one of my best friends. We were talking the other day on how long we've known each other. And we've known each other for almost like 15 years. Which is crazy to me because we're only 27. But she's my other help. We do all the prep work. She takes care of all the prep work, and in the morning she comes and cooks everything for us, and I'll make some chummas, and then we go in there and just when the orders start coming in, and we start cooking together. But yeah, that's her. And then my siblings, all my siblings help out like where they can, especially when it comes to catering. We have, like I mentioned, I come from a big family, so from my siblings alone, there's 7 of us, and each of them have come and helped out in different ways with the big caterings. And then also one of my other friends, Ramon, he helps me with caterings as well. And so that's our catering crew.
Wow, that is so awesome to have such a big family and that big support behind you and a very big family dynamic. Talking about I know you mentioned some of the ingredients that you use in your menus. So do you utilize any of the indigenous food producers or distributors to get your, I believe you said like your wheat flour and wheat berries?
Yes, definitely. I use the San Javier, the co-op farm, and I use Ramona Farms here in Hill River. And then sometimes I do like, so I went to school in Montana, and I do a lot of bartering. We send stuff to each other, like my friends up there. I'll get dry meat, like buffalo jerky, elk jerky, stuff like that. And I usually send them things. So I get food like that too for certain recipes.
Oh, wow. That is so awesome. And talking about recipes, do you have a favorite recipe or dish?
Yes, definitely. So this dish is, I call it Autumn Pozole, and it's a spinoff on our red chili. And I just added Navajo steamed corn in the soup, so it's like a pozole. And to me, that's like exactly who I am. I am an Autumn Ulf. I'm a Pima woman. Also, I'm a Dene woman. And so I have the Navajo corn and I have the Autumn chili stew combined, and that's my favorite.
Oh, wow. That does sound like a delicious blend incorporating your Navajo ingredients and also your Autumn ingredients as well. Can you give us kind of like a rundown of the other products on your menu?
Yeah, so we have so we really do specialize a lot. Not specialize, but we people really like our breakfast burritos. One thing that is different about that is when we started, right now it's too hot to do make our tortillas on site, but that's what we're doing in the cooler months is chumas on site, made to order breakfast burritos. And that's for our breakfast. And then we also have some pima wheat pancakes with blueberries in there and a lemon mascarpone topping. And then we do French toast, a whole variety of French toast. Then we have a lighter options menu. That's going to be overnight oats with berry topping. Right now, our seasonal overnight oats is a peach cobbler overnight oats. And then we also have the Autumn Power Burrito, which is a wheat chumas with egg white, spinach, and mushrooms. And then we have potatoes, tapery beans in there, and a little bit of cheese. So that was our breakfast menu. And then our catering menu consists of, for our sides, we have a arugula and spinach, blackberry and choya bud salad with a lemon honey vinaigrette, and that has that has violet seeds in there, and that's actually one of my favorite salads. And then we have a autumn veggie melody, consists of squash, corn, beans, choya buds, and wheat berries in there. It's a nice side. It complements a lot of things. And we have a variety of drinks too that people seem to like. We have a prickly pear lemonade, which is actually a customer favorite. And then our newest one was a spin-off on a movie, Smoke Signals, but it's our version of Arnold Palmer. We call it the Arnold Joseph.
Oh, wow. They all sound super delicious. And Kaitlin, anybody that's in the area that is looking for your Ranch Mobile Eatery, can you kind of give us a description of how your mobile trailer looks?
Yeah, so it is it's a white trailer. When the window is open, that means you're open for service. So the inside, we have a amazing 3-foot griddle. That's probably my favorite thing of the whole trailer. And then on the left side, we have a four burners, overhead exhaust and everything. And then to the right, we have our 3-compartment sink, set to sanitize, rinse, and everything. And then to the right of that, we have our hand washing sink. Overhead is the AC. And down to the right, we have our prep station with the counter space and then storage under that, and then a refrigerator.
Oh, wow. That sounds so amazing. Is it pretty spacious in there?
It is. Comfortably can fit 3 people, like us moving around. But it is. I like it. I do like it a lot. Something good to start out with. And actually, yeah, it's awesome. I love it.
And Kaitlin, can you tell us more about your logo?
Yes. So the logo and the name. The logo is rooted from every time we'd be working at our grandpa's, everyone would refer to it as the Pascal Ranch. And so when I was thinking of the name, that's what I knew. I was like, this is the ranch. But the mountains in the background are an outline of one of our, it could be hindered as a sacred mountain. The Hashan, the saguaro cactus, symbolizes our Hajin, our relatives. It symbolizes resilience in this unforgiving desert climate. The Hereford steer silhouette is a dedication to our great-grandparents and great-grandfathers who have worked to keep cattle in our family now for, with our nieces and nephews, 6 generations. The Backyard Hymndog is a reminder of where I come from and how my upbringing continues to shape me into the person I am today. Those hot summer days herding cattle humbled me and taught me to take care of the land and the animals. The coyote tracks represent my hu'u, maternal grandmother, clan, the bun, the coyote. The rope encircling everything is a devotion to all the strong men in my life that have always had a rope with them and the rough hands to show they worked hard to make a living. But yet this logo really represents my whole family heritage, represents who I am, and was a dedication to my grandpa and my grandparents.
Oh, wow, that is so amazing. Thank you for sharing that, Kaitlin. I didn't know there was a huge story behind your logo. That is so amazing. And I know at the beginning you mentioned that you guys kind of, for your food trailer, kind of go res wide, but mainly in Saskatoon. Where do you guys have a list of where you're going to be the following week or the day?
Usually I do I do post on my social media where I'm gonna be at and the time. And right now, because it's warm, I had been sticking just to breakfast. But now we were talking of trying to get out a little bit more outside of Saskatoon. Still wanting to stay on the res. This is my target audience, is my community. There is a need for healthy or fresh, freshly made food, and so wanting to stay here, but just gonna travel a little bit more.
Oh wow, that sounds so amazing. And Kaitlin, talking about expanding, where would you like to see the mobile ranch eatery in 5 years?
In 5 years, I hope to have at least 2 more trailers, to where another one where I could be, the one here is stationed on the east side of the reservation, or central east side, but wanting to have another one that would be located on the west side of our reservation. And then another one, honestly, I want another trailer to go and travel. I really want to hit the Indian tour rodeo circuit, and just I really want to go and go to different rodeos, powwows. I think that is one of my goals. And then the 5 year, honestly, my 5 year plan was to have a restaurant by that time, something built from the ground up, and something here in my community. That would be my ideal goal for 5 years.
Oh yeah, that would be pretty amazing. And Kaitlin, what is your favorite part of owning the Ranch Mobile Eatery, and why?
My favorite part, honestly, when thinking of this question, one thing that always came to mind was I always wanted to be in a position to help people. And right now, financially, I'm comfortable, thanks to my hard work, thanks to the hard work of my my brother and my friend, and I'm financially stable enough to help people when I can. I've always been a giver, and now I see myself doing that more and at a larger scale. And so it's really humbling, and it's such a blessing, to be that blessing to other people. And that is honestly one of my favorite things about being an owner, is being financially comfortable enough to help people.
Oh, that's great. Thank you for sharing that. And finally, how can our listeners learn more about the Ranch Mobile Eatery, and how can they contact you if they have further questions?
Yeah, so we are on social media, Facebook, The Ranch Mobile Eatery, on Instagram, The Ranch 562, and you can also contact us via email, theranchmobile@gmail.com.
I would like to thank you for taking time out to talk to us today, Kaitlin, and telling us more about your Ranch Mobile Eatery, and also giving the backstory of how it started.
Thank you so much for having me. It was such an honor.
Thank you for listening to Native Talk Arizona, presented by Native Health and 90.7 FM KRDP. Our executive producer is Susan Levy. Sound engineer is Javier Quiroga, and our host is Lanasha Puadi. We hope you will tune in again next week. If you have any questions, please reach us at nativetalkaz at listen2krdp.com.